This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, the discovery of a highly toxic mineral at Dunedin Hospital shuts down some services and experts are consulted. Recently uncovered historic cobblestones are being uplifted and moved to a new home within the warehouse precinct. And we'll find out what role the zebrafish is playing as researchers study heart defects in humans. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Experts are being consulted about the discovery of asbestos at Dunedin Hospital. The Southern DHB has closed some services at the hospital after finding the mineral in several parts of the building. And that's just the first step in addressing the problem.
Cordoning off contaminated areas. Asbestos has been discovered in 4 different levels of Dunedin Hospital during routine checks by the Southern DHB.
Some of the broad brush swabs showed positive results, and as a result of that we did much more concentrated testing and swabbing in those areas, and from all of those swabs we've come away with 3 positive results.
Several parts of the first floor are contaminated, with surface tests from last week showing positive for asbestos. An ultrasound waiting room, corridor and radiology offices are all affected, but the board's trying to keep the problem contained.
We took immediate action. Patient safety, staff safety, public safety is our number 1 priority. So we closed down those areas and we are looking to bring experts in who arrived this morning.
Those experts will be working to contain or remove asbestos and clean affected areas. It's looking like a big job, with several different types of asbestos identified throughout the hospital.
We've found in restricted areas or encapsulated areas, we've found all 3 types of asbestos. So chrysotile, amosite and crucidula. In other areas where there's been workplaces or spaces, we've found chrysotile, which is white asbestos.
Regular testing by the DHB in its local buildings has been ongoing ahead of planned changes to health and safety laws. Results of the latest tests are expected to become available in the next 24 hours. Anyone concerned about being exposed can call a hospital hotline. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Parts of the bungled South Dunedin cycle network are being redesigned in an attempt by the City Council to appease residents. The network is due to cost just over $6 million in total, but the City Council has already had to spend more than $300,000 fixing its mistakes. Many of the original changes made to roads throughout South Dunedin have now been removed. Councillors have just voted to make the development of the Portobello Road section a priority. Other parts of the network will be subject to redesign following public consultation. Work is expected to take about 18 months. Historic cobblestones laid in Duke Street more than 100 years ago are being given a new home. They've been unearthed by contractors working on a pipeline renewal project for the Dunedin City Council. Now the stones are set to enhance another part of the city.
Surveying a working archaeology site. City Council staff are overseeing the removal of historic cobblestones from underneath the surface of Duke Street.
It's a very early set of cobblestones. The archaeologist thinks it's about 1860s, 1870s, so that's fairly early in Dunedin's development, and it's great that such a large section of them are in situ without having been damaged in the past.
The stones have been assessed by National Heritage authorities, which are allowing their removal and storage. The cobbles will likely be used around Vogel Street, where a new pedestrian area is being designed.
The archaeologist has recommended, and Heritage New Zealand have agreed as well, is that we could reuse them somewhere else. Our plan is to hopefully reuse them in the warehouse precincts, as we know there's already cobbling in that area, and so we can use them down there as a bit of a feature.
It's not unusual for cobblestones to be found just under the city's surface. Many form the foundation of local roads. But the ones in Duke Street are older than most and have remained in situ without damage, which is quite rare.
Most often in this type of situation you prefer to leave them in situ as much as possible, so just leave them where they are and cover them back over. But in this situation that wasn't possible because they need to do some quite intensive works in the area.
It's unlikely the cobblestones will be relaid anytime soon. They're being kept in safe storage until a time when the City Council's ready to place them underfoot once more. Rosie Mannins, 39 Dunedin News.
Dunedin police are investigating 2 burglaries in homes of the city's northern suburbs. An old-fashioned push bike was stolen from the backyard of a Northeast Valley home earlier this week. The owner realised the bike was missing on Tuesday morning but is unsure when it was taken from the Carlisle Street section. Another bicycle was also stolen from a Pitt Street property late last week. It was taken on Saturday afternoon from a hallway inside an 11-person student flat. Researchers have discovered a possible cause of congenital heart defects with the help of fish. A University of Otago study has revealed how low levels of a certain protein may be responsible for heart problems. And although the research has been done on fish, it's set to help humans.
Fishing for answers. These researchers are using fish to pinpoint the cause of heart problems in humans.
We can use the fish as a model for the human disease, and it's also raised the possibility that humans and the general population that don't have enough of this gene might also be predisposed to heart disease.
Researchers have been looking at heart defects associated with a development disorder called Cornelia de Lange syndrome. The condition can't be tracked in growing babies, but it can be identified in zebrafish embryos. Scientists have found that by taking away a certain gene, fish start having heart problems.
We didn't knock out the whole gene or eliminate the protein altogether. What we did was just decreased it by about 80%, and so there was some left in the fish and they could grow just fine. But all of the fish that this happened to developed heart defects.
It's difficult to detect congenital heart disease until a baby is born, and the study can't help people who already have the syndrome. But with more advances, preventative work could be done while babies are growing in the womb.
The more we understand about how genes influence early development, the more likely it is we'll be able to maybe adopt preventative measures, but for genetic diseases there aren't really any good curative measures.
Horsfield says offering supplements to pregnant women in case problems arise could dramatically reduce the number of defects. The research was funded by the Neurological Foundation and the Royal Society of New Zealand Marsden Fund. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we chat with one of the students involved in a sustainability project which may benefit the whole city. And we meet the young man whose efforts in a biology exam could see him competing overseas.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
This year's Oamaru Heritage Festival's theme is Alice in Wonderland, celebrating the sesquicentennial of its writing. Join us in Oamaru November 11th to 16th. See www.vhcu.co.nz for details. And don't be late for this very important date.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boy store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices are just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, you're guaranteed a treat.
Hedges are something we almost take for granted. A good hedge needs regular maintenance to look its best and to add value and character to your property. For all your hedge care needs, call the team at SGC Services on 0800 783 453.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
Mobility Scooters Otago. Mobility scooters, new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 King Edward Street, opposite Westpac.
Congratulations, you're getting married. Hi, I'm James Morris, wedding celebrant, and it's my privilege and a pleasure to bring you the perfect ceremony for your perfect day. Don't wait or contemplate. Your consultation is free with no obligation. jamesmorris.co.nz.
Big Orange for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Local businesses are receiving a $200,000 boost thanks to the city's Gigatown win. The money is available to local companies using the new ultra-fast fibre network to drive innovation. Each business can apply for up to $20,000 in funding. The money is being administered by technology infrastructure companies Chorus and Alcatel-Lucent. Already, almost $50,000 has been given to 3 local firms for internet-based projects. And application for this round of funding closes at the end of the month. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. The NZX 50 has closed the day up. These are the exchange rates, and these are all up against the New Zealand dollar. And the NZX 50 is in fact up 5 points. It's now at 5,924. The FTSE is up 3 points. A Kaikorai Valley College group has started a biotechnology company to help power the school's heating system. Pupils involved in the project are hoping to make the city more sustainable in the long term. Kaika Energy's Sophia Tang joins us to explain. Good evening.
Hi.
Tell us about the Kaika Energy project and how it got started.
Well, as part of the Young Enterprise Scheme, we created a company called Kaika Energy, and it's a biotechnology social enterprise. And what we do is we transform non-consumable food waste, and that then produces biofuel and fertiliser through our anaerobic digester. We were inspired by a review that said that New Zealanders waste $800 million on food waste each year, and we wanted to make a difference.
How did you fund it?
Well, we've had some generous funding throughout the year. Fonterra Grassroots gave us a large sum of money that kick-started our project, as well as Keep Dunedin Beautiful and Youth Fund. We've had lots of donations and support from local businesses around Dunedin.
Now, you've just returned quite literally from the National Innovators Awards held overnight. How did they go?
Well, unfortunately, we didn't win any awards, but we made 2 categories as a finalist, and that's an accomplishment in itself. We met a lot of great people, and we got to talk to some very inspiring Kiwis. And yeah.
How has the school community rallied behind your project?
Well, Kaikoura Valley College has been very supportive. They funded our trip up to Auckland, and they've gotten the whole school involved in voting for the People's Choice, which we made the finalists in the category. Yeah.
What has been the highlight of being involved in this company?
Well, running an actual business and making real profit and loss, working as a team and meeting great people that are so passionate about what we're trying to do.
Do you think that this project will expand?
Yeah, I hope so. We hope that maybe it would expand throughout New Zealand and develop a collection service in households one day.
What's it been like running a company with your school friends?
Sometimes it's hard, but it's fun at the same time. We're able to have laughs every now and then and develop new skills, and just have a lot of fun.
And so tell us a little bit about where the food waste is coming from. Is it purely from families of children that attend the school, or is it from a wider area?
Well, at the moment we're collecting from local businesses down Kaikoura Valley Road and supermarkets. We hope to collect from households soon and maybe collect from students at school.
And are you working on the project in school time?
Yeah, so the Young Enterprise Scheme, it's usually a subject that seniors can take, but we haven't had time to choose that as a subject, so we do it in our study time and our spare time on Tuesday afternoons.
But this is your last year of high school, so what's the plan for the company's future?
Hopefully to expand and maybe create a legacy in the school for the next lot of students to carry on, and we'll pop in and out and keep an eye on them and maybe mentor them next year, and possibly help the Pacific Islands because they have no way of disposing food waste, and introduce it over there.
Wonderful stuff. Well, congratulations on the successes to date. Sophia Tang from Kaikoura Energy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, we meet the Year 10 pupil who's excelling in the field of biology. And Legal Highs will be back on shop shelves soon, but only in stores with the appropriate licence.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special 0800 502 402.
Here's something else to look forward to sinking your teeth into every weekend with the Otago Daily Times, The Weekend Mix, your guide to what's hot in fashion, entertainment, food and more. New weekend magazine in your ODT. Pick up your copy this Saturday.
Pellet fires are growing in popularity in Otago with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pellet fires, so easy, so efficient.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
Mosgiel Mowers Plus can help you with products to make your garden maintenance jobs easier. Lawn mowers, ride-ons, chainsaws, line trimmers. Sales and service are our specialty. Mosgiel Mowers Plus. Phone 489 3572 22B Gordon Road, Mosgiel.
Yeah, we're heading down George Street, down B, tip of the hat to the people we meet, and southern skies. In the world.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. A local high school student is punching above his weight when it comes to science. The Year 10 pupil recently excelled in an international biology exam for students 2 years his senior, and the impressive feat could see him competing overseas.
Getting stuck into studying. Year 10 Bayfield pupil Christopher Lee is hitting the books in preparation for the next stage of the International Biology Olympiad. The global competition is aimed at Year 12 students, but Christopher's passion for science and support from teachers means he's giving it a go.
I decided to enter because I like entering into competitions in general, and I also enjoy science topics like biology.
He's one of 200 Kiwi students who have been chosen to progress to the tutorial part of the contest. They're having to study new biology-based material throughout the summer, and Christopher's giving himself a head start.
I went to the Biology Olympiad webpage and I found that they put some exam papers onto the website, so I tried a few of the questions and that.
A lot of the content is above the level usually tackled in Year 10 science classes, but Bayfield teachers are helping him to achieve the required standard. He's confident in his abilities, having already excelled in the preliminary exam.
It started with a few easy questions and it went harder as you went along, and there was some questions which I couldn't really understand, but it was easy enough for me to do.
If he does well within the tutorial program, he could be selected to compete internationally next year. Progressing through the competition is just one goal right now. He's also thinking about the rest of his time at high school and figuring out how science will factor in. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Last year, legal highs were pulled from shelves amidst public opposition. But in a couple of weeks, retailers will be able to apply for licences to produce and market new products. Otago Daily Times reporter Timothy Brown has been investigating and he joins us to explain. Good evening.
Good evening.
Are the old legal highs still around?
Legally, no, they're not. The interim ban is as good as a prohibition. However, since that ban has come into place, police have uncovered more than 70 kilograms of the product while carrying out stings around the country.
What are police saying about this move, this latest move?
Well, they're supportive of it, obviously. It is a government move. However, locally, interestingly, our police haven't had a lot to say. They didn't submit to the committee hearing last month.
What does this licence mean?
This licence means that people now have the opportunity to prove that they can produce a product that not only gets you high, but is safe for consumption.
And are retailers expected to make the product?
No. Well, retailers can make the product, but there will generally be a producer. The retailers will market what the producer produces. They're separate licences.
So what's going to be happening next month?
Next month, they get the opportunity to apply for a licence to prove that their product is safe. So in actuality, they're estimating it'll be another 2 years before these things hit the shelves, at least. But next month is the first hurdle that they have to cross.
Okay. How is the City Council dealing with it?
In Dunedin, we have a local approved product policy, which is yet to go before the full council. It will happen later this month. And what that means is that the retailing of this stuff will be limited to the central city, and even within the central city, sensitive areas will be excluded by 100 metres where retailers can operate.
And you've talked to an independent drug policy researcher. What did that person make of all this?
Yes, Jeff Noller. He actually believes we're ahead of the game with our policy. He had a lot of praise for the Dunedin City Council, and he thinks we have to move past the prohibition mindset and start looking at real alternatives to what is a social issue rather than a criminal issue.
Otago Daily Times reporter Timothy Brown, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Dunedin Hospital are closed after several types of asbestos were discovered throughout the building during routine checks. Historic cobblestones laid more than 100 years ago are being taken from Duke Street for use in the warehouse precinct. And local researchers are hoping their discovery in relation to heart defects can help humans after positive results with zebrafish. Well, it's time now to find out what's going to be in Friday's Otago Daily Times, and Bruce Quirry joins us. Good evening.
Good evening, Rebecca. Back to Dunedin cycleways. They're expected to cost 3 to 4 times more per metre than expected. That news was delivered at the DCC's Infrastructure Services Committee meeting today by the General Manager of Infrastructure Networks, Ruth Stokes. We'll also have more on that news from Dunedin Hospital, where a discovery of asbestos has disrupted ultrasound services, and officials can't rule out that some patients might have come into contact. A Mosgiel family. They are looking to be $20,000 out of pocket after a shipping container, which was coming from the United States with their belongings, has become stranded up in Littleton. And in business, Fonterra's taken another hit with its credit ratings. And in sport, tonight the All Blacks name their squad to play South Africa, and the Silver Ferns go up again against Australia.
It's all on like Donkey Kong in the sporting world. Thank you, Bruce. It's tomorrow's ODT. Time now for local weather.
This local weather report proudly brought to you in association with Silberhorn Sportsville.
Here is today's City View. It's taken of a man walking in Chingford Park. And around the city today at 3 o'clock, 14 degrees for the central city and the Taieri, 16 for the Gardens. To the situation, and a cool southwest flow is blowing over New Zealand, and it will remain over the South Island through the weekend. To the forecast for some of the main towns in the lower South Island for tomorrow. Sou'westers and showers later in the day for Invercargill and Gore. Showers all day for Tiana with sou'westers there. And just a bit of high cloud for Alexandra with westerlies. Highs for these towns are between 14 and 17 degrees. Sou'westers with showers later on for Queenstown. The risk of showers will be around in Oamaru with sou'west winds there. Westerlies for Wanaka and Twizel with some high cloud, both towns expecting 17 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, fine with an overnight low of 7. Tomorrow, mild westerlies freshening with high cloud increasing, although a sou'west change will bring brief showers later in the day, 16 degrees. And on Saturday, sunny periods and mild westerlies with a high of 16. And to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, high tide tomorrow afternoon is at 1:45. Low tide follows at 8. And fishing conditions look good, especially at around 9:15 tomorrow morning. And that's all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.